I think we all can agree that no matter what town or city we live in, there's always going to be some good and bad about it. So I thought it'd be helpful to do this video and give you my real life experience since I've been living here in Ajax for like over 12 years. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to give you both the good and the bad of living in Ajax so that if you're thinking about moving here or if you just want to know a little bit more about Ajax, that this video will hopefully help you. So before I moved to Ajax, I lived in Scarborough, and when I was looking for my first property to buy, I was looking for somewhere affordable because at that time I couldn't afford the houses in Scarborough. So that led me into looking into homes in Ajax because in Ajax, the homes were so much more affordable. So this brings me into the first point that I wanted to make about something that's not so good about Ajax. And it's that it's not as affordable as it used to be. So if you're comparing Ajax to other cities like Pickering or Scarborough, you'll see that there isn't that much of a price difference. So the homes here in Ajax are almost as expensive as those other cities, so I wouldn't say it's the most affordable place to live at this time. So on the topic of affordability, I wanted to mention the property tax here in Ajax. It's really high. And this is something that I wasn't aware of when I first moved here to Ajax. In comparison to property tax in Toronto, let's say, you're looking at paying actually double the amount. So let me give you an example for this. If I pull up the property tax calculator for Toronto, we're looking at a home here in Toronto that has a property value of $1 million. We'll see here that the property tax for that home would be a little bit over $6,000. And if we look at the property tax for the town of Ajax, for that same value home of $1 million, we will actually see that the property tax that you'll be paying is actually $11,000. So that is a huge difference, right? It's almost, you're paying double the amount basically. So that's just one thing that I think is a bad thing about living here in Ajax. So when I first moved here to Ajax about 12 years ago, it was not that populated. It was really quiet and there weren't very many new developments around. It was just a small town that had a lot of developing to do. But over the years, Ajax has become really, really populated. And with that, I find that it's become a little bit congested. And what I mean by this is you'll notice longer lines when it comes to shopping in the stores. And with that, you'll also find that sometimes finding parking can be a little bit difficult just because there's so many people. In comparison to how Ajax was in the past, I would say that one of the bad things about it for me is that it's just a little bit more congested than it was before. And the last thing that I wanted to mention about one of the pitfalls about living here in Ajax is that with that increase of population and congestion comes more traffic. So just to give you some perspective on what I mean about traffic is that a lot of people are using the 401 because they work outside of Ajax. They're going into the city. And what you'll end up seeing during rush hour when everybody's coming home, once you reach Pickering, you'll see that the express lane and the collector's lane join into one. So you'll start to see it bottleneck right before Ajax. And that's where you'll start to see the congestion and traffic. Not only are the highways really congested at this time, you'll also notice that there's a lot of traffic on the local roads as well. For example, Kingston Road, which is one of the main roads here in Ajax. With the bad comes good, and I want to mention some of those good things that are here in Ajax. As mentioned before, I've seen how Ajax has transformed over the years. And one thing that I've really noticed and I really, really like is how diverse Ajax has become. When I first moved here, there wasn't really much culture to Ajax. And what I mean by this is there wasn't the population for one thing wasn't really diverse. And second to that, there wasn't a variety of grocery stores or even restaurant chains that would provide foods from a variety of different cultures. And what I really like is that that's all changed. You'll see here in Ajax, there's a variety of restaurants and grocery stores that you don't even have to leave here to go and get anything that you need from any culture because it's all right here in Ajax. From my experience, I know that schools play an important part on when someone's looking for a place to live, especially obviously if you have kids. And for me, I have 3 little ones, so I have a lot of experience with the school systems here in Ajax. So here in Ajax, within every neighborhood pocket, you'll see a variety of school options. And what I mean by this is not only is there a public school, but there's also Catholic schools, French immersion, Montessori's, public schools, you name it, we got it here in Ajax. I interact with a lot of other parents, and there's a lot of families that have moved from other cities here to Ajax. And one thing that I noticed that they mention a lot of times is how good the schools here are in Ajax compared to the other cities that they lived in. So I can definitely attest that the schools in Ajax here are great and the teachers are awesome. So on the topic of kids and schools, that brings me into the abundance of recreational facilities here in Ajax. We have so many rec centers here, and it's great for families because as parents, we're always looking for things to keep our kids active. And here in Ajax, we don't fall short of any of that. Not only are there a lot of playgrounds and parks, but as I mentioned, there's a lot of rec centers that have activities such as pools, basketball courts, baseball courts, and so much more. And lastly, now, although Ajax does not have its very own mall, we don't lack in shopping whatsoever. Here in Ajax, we have a lot of outlets and shopping plazas that offer a variety of goods and services. So you can get anywhere from clothing to shoes to hardware to household items, you name it, we have it here. And what I like about that is that I don't really find myself having to, go to other cities or out of Ajax to get everything that I need because it's right here. As I mentioned in the beginning, everywhere has its good and bad, and it's really based on one's perspective. So I hope that by me sharing my own personal experience with how Ajax is like for me, it's given you a little bit more insight on whether it will be the right fit for you. I hope this video helps you if you're looking to move to Ajax. And if you have any questions or anything more that you want to learn about Ajax, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll leave all my contact information in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.